Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Arrow. So let's start talking about the season finale, which was literally explosive. Now, just a little disclaimer, I actually didn't love season 5 of Arrow, and last episode I thought was really good, and so the finale I was kind of on the border of. I'm like, I haven't really liked the season, but I loved this episode, and I might say this is the best episode the show has ever provided us. This was a really gut-wrenching episode, and it's weird because Supergirl and Flash, which is usually more about the emotions, gave us more action, twists and turns, and then Arrow's the one that gives us action, of course, but a lot of emotion and character development and exploration of character relationships, and going back to the premise of what Arrow was always about. So with this episode, we get to see, of course, the team and Oliver's loved ones are trapped on Lian Yu, and Oliver has to team up with Malcolm, Nyssa, Captain Boomerang, and of course Deathstroke to try to get his loved ones. And he has a lot of ultimatums in this episode. When he actually gets the people he loves all in one spot, he has to pick between his son and his loved ones, and the way it happens, he doesn't realize. He thinks he's tricked Chase, but he's on the same boat that he was on with his father, and Chase kills himself, which that explodes all these bombs on the island, while every single loved one that Oliver has ever had was on that island. So it's the reversal. Well, yeah, it's kind of the reversal of what Arrow was built on, which was Oliver's dad sacrificing himself because he did stuff that was wrong and wanted Oliver to have his own life. And now is Oliver saying, I can have it all. And he knew he did wrong, but finally it's Oliver realizing, you know, I can have a life. It's all those seasons of him brooding and, you know, all the back and forth with his emotions. He finally knows what type of person he is by the end of this episode, but might lose the people he loves. Now, of course, I think they've all survived because we wouldn't have a show after that. But it's an interesting premise of Oliver thinking that all the people he loved has died. And I think it's going to be next season that those characters having to survive and trying to survive and kind of going the role reversal of Oliver. So it's Oliver for 5 years trying to survive on this island, and now it's everyone he loves trying to survive on this island. So I think that's what's going to happen next season, or at least the premiere episode of next season. But what I loved about this, I mean, you could go into Oliver and his son's relationship, which was so well done, but the other two relationships I really liked here, and I think they've actually covered a lot of characters here. For how many characters are in this cast and on the team, everyone had a role here and was part of the big fight, which I really appreciated, because usually I will say Arrow has been better with making the team more part of the final fight. But it's usually Oliver against, you know, Ra's al Ghul or Malcolm Merlyn. But now it was really the team effort of them putting everything they know and what they're good at and trying to help Oliver. And Oliver accepts it. I love that in the end, where Oliver accepts, no, that's my family and friends. They know what they're doing. That's my team. So anyways, the two relationships I really enjoyed here, though, was Malcolm Merlyn and Thea and Deathstroke and Oliver. So I want to go with Deathstroke and Oliver first. Really enjoyed their relationship because it's that twist and turn of, is Deathstroke good or bad? Because that's always his character, you know? He's always tricking you, and even in the comics it's the same way, that he's a villain, but you kind of see his motives, especially when his family's involved, which there was a Joey reference there, so we know that Jericho might exist in this reality, and I hope Rose, that'd be nice. I thought they were gonna go talk about Grant and maybe if he died or not, but maybe we'll get more Deathstroke stuff in the next season, now that we actually got him here. But anyways, so, yeah, I like their relationship because it was Deathstroke who really got to Oliver and said, no, you're kind of doing everything right. And it was, you know, Deathstroke in the right mind frame. And it was that Deathstroke from season 2. And this whole episode felt like a season 2 episode. That's how epic it was, which we all know season 2 was the best season of Arrow. But also it gave some of the goodness that was from season 3 and season 4, like the development of Thea and Diggle and all the other characters. So I enjoyed that aspect. So Deathstroke was such a pleasure in this episode, and it was so great. And Thea and Malcolm, really liked her character and Malcolm's character here. Even though Thea wasn't really part of the fight, I'm glad she was part of the discussion. She was very much a part of, you know, plotting of what to do next. But it was Thea's journey throughout this season is, who am I? You know, I don't want to be my mom. I don't want to be Malcolm Merlyn. Like, who am I? You know, not compared to my parents. And she definitely didn't want to be Malcolm after the journey she went through, that she learned how to be a hero and fight because of Malcolm, but in the wrong way. So she hates Malcolm, of course, but in the end, when she loses Malcolm in this episode, she realizes that it's kind of weird that she cared for him. So, and she feels guilty that she pushed him away. So it's just these really interesting child and parent relationship that we get to see throughout the whole entire episode, and really bringing back that family theme to Arrow, which I've always really enjoyed. So I was very happy with what they did with Thea here, because she has been kind of neglected this season, and I didn't really get her motives for a lot of the season. So I'm glad that we kind of got our old Thea back here, and it was a realization of her father dying, and Malcolm sacrificing himself. That was such a good character arc for himself too, of him sacrificing for Thea. That was very much in the motive of Malcolm Merlyn, that he never knew how to show love for Thea and was never a good dad, but in this moment he sacrificed his life for her, and I love that. So overall, I mean, I could probably go all day about how awesome this episode was, but it was really great. Even the writing, the way they went back and forth with the flashbacks, which is something I usually don't like, it actually made sense and worked for the emotion and you know, the character beats for this episode. But also the action was very on point here too. There's some really great action. You got Nyssa and Talia fighting each other. It really was a scope of this show. It brought everything that was good about Arrow into one episode, and it felt like a series finale in a lot of ways, and that's what a season finale should feel like. It wasn't about teasing, and even though there was obviously a huge cliffhanger where we could all predict of what's going to happen next, but yeah, it was just a great character episode, and I love that, and I hope this means that Arrow Season 6 will be going back to telling character stories, because that is where Arrow is at its strength, is getting into those emotional beats. So, very well done season finale. Definitely my favorite of all the DC shows was Arrow, and I'm glad to say that. So, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this episode. This is Comic Unknown. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter, and don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter, and I'll see you guys later.